Ready. It was on the back of the toilet.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
What's going on, guys? This is Chris Hardy from Punkstar Radio Houston.com. We are live at Punkstar Full Throttle Backstage. We're doing backstage interviews tonight. I've got the one and only Todd Waters with me. What's going on, Todd?
Hey.
Good to see you, brother. You doing all right?
Yeah. Good. Thanks for having me down.
So, you made the trip. You came all the way down to Houston. You got a lot of big things coming up.
I do.
You moved from Houston, from L.A. to Houston, back to Houston to L.A. to Temple, and now I heard you're moving back to Houston.
Back to Houston.
So
yeah, I think so.
Why are you making the move again? Is it family things, or are you trying to open and do more junker?
It's both. But I mean, really, it's so weird because I still drive by Spring Branch. I still drive through my
Dirty Branch.
The Dirty Branch. I got some hats in the car,
I was born in Spring Branch, Texas. It's a long story, but I was born in Spring Branch, and so Outlaw Dave,
Spring Branch.
So I remember the one night we're from Spring Branch.
Yep.
So it's like we have the Dirty Branch hats, and you can pick those up on junker.com. So,
Yep.
But it's a limited edition, but it only makes sense if you're from the branch.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
You got some with you?
Yep. Junkerdesigns.com. It's called the Dirty Branch hat. That's not my idea, but I asked.
What idea was that?
I don't know, but I took it from Dave. I asked if I could.
It's the Outlaw Dave.
Yeah, Outlaw Dave presents.
Well, I remember Outlaw Dave. He always said the Dirty Branch, and we were just bullshitting one day. I think it was after an interview, and he said something about the Dirty Branch, and I'm like, "You talking about Spring Branch?" And then he laid it on me, and I'm like, "Well, I was born in Spring Branch,
right?
I mean, I lived there for I was a baby, but I was there for but I was born.
You're still dirty. You're still Dirty Branch.
My birth certificate says dirty.
Dirty Branch.
It don't say dirty,
yeah.
but it says Spring Branch. But
yeah,
I don't even think the hospital's still there anymore. So, are you moving back to Spring Branch?
No, I think I'm going to be on the outskirts, probably in Hempstead, because I need to have a big workspace. So basically, the plan is I've been driving through town, I miss town. This is the only place I can imagine putting a band together. Also, but also it's I'm going to do an art show, and then after that, I'm going to be in a clothing store for a month, and then I'm going to do a fashion show. So there is a lot of stuff going on.
So wait, back up. Okay, so I know the band Die Fast. If you guys are not familiar with the band Die Fast, Todd is the lead singer of Die Fast, also lead singer of Spunk, the old school.
Right.
So you have a lot of music history. That's one reason why we're conjoined, because we support local music. And Todd is also a fabulous fashion designer, and then works with so many bands like Motley Crue. You've done Britney Spears, Lenny Kravitz. I mean, the list goes Carniflex. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And so you're moving back to H-Town. Are you starting? Half your band from Die Fast is still here in Houston, correct? I ran into Rudy not too long ago.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. So.
Yeah, I don't even know who's in the band anymore.
So you're going to be recruiting? So you're working on the band?
Yeah, so this would be a shout out. Yeah, this would be a thing hey, man, if you think you've got some serious chops and a lot of energy, then hit me up.
And we're going with the punk genre, correct?
Yeah, it's still Die Fast.
Because literally we have no punk genre, no punk local bands in this town. I mean, we have a couple hit and miss, but
there's actually a lot of really good ones.
Okay,
there's a lot of really good
you
ones.
You should school me on that, because I mean, every time that we have somebody here, I'm like, man, I have no clue.
Oh,
You're the first one I always think of, but you're always so busy.
Yeah, my friend Kevin will give you a rundown. There's a lot of good bands here. There's a lot of good punk bands.
Okay, so you're moving back to Houston. We're looking for bandmates, getting Die Fast back together. Tell me about, you're doing a pop-in clothing store. You're going to be somewhere for a month. You said something about it?
Yeah. Okay, first, let's do the art show first, because that's
that
first.
Into that.
Yeah, so March 31st, April 1st is the art show, and that's at Hardy and Nance Studios. And so what makes that super cool is when I first started, when I got kicked out of my parents' house, I lived in a crazy punk rock house. But then after that, I moved to the Commerce Art Warehouse. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Is that where you critiqued your art?
That's where me and this guy Pat had to pee in jars because there wasn't a bathroom.
Speaking of peeing in jars, you just did a live stream, didn't you?
Yeah, you'll hear it.
You feature that on the intro, so that's going to be an explicit Punkstar thing. So
yeah.
Todd Waters live stream.
You could loan it to Die Fast for the intro to our new record.
We should do that.
Okay,
we could do that. I'll let you borrow the rights.
So I grew up in this place, Commerce Artist Warehouse, doing art, and there's a really young girl there named Claire that was like a crazy poet and a painter. Anyway, but she works at Hardy and Nance now.
Oh, okay.
So it's really cool because she's like the only person that I know and trust.
Well, it follows back. I mean, it's loyalty. You've known her forever, and it's kind of like family.
Yeah, so Hardy and Nance has a bunch of artist galleries in there, and then there's like kind of a smaller gallery at the back of the building, and that's where I'm going to show a kimono that I made for Vince Neil. I'm going to show the helmet that was made for Dimmu Borgir. So there's only 2 copies of that helmet. I'm going to show the Cenobite from.
Looking forward to seeing that one.
So just so you guys know, you have to do like a little bit of research, kind of. There was going to be a documentary called 25 Years of Hellraiser. And so in that movie, Clive Barker was going to shoot a 10-minute short of this new character called the Ancient Cenobite. But like a lot of Hollywood crap, the whole thing fell apart. But because the way that I had the deal was I would just charge for supplies as long as I can keep the costume. Yeah. So I still have the costume.
It's your art, it's your work. So
it's never really been seen. I have some behind-the-scenes photos.
I would say you've done a couple photo shoots with it. I've seen it.
Yeah. And then I have some of the...
I'm a big Hellraiser fan and Pinhead, and I was like, every time you post it, I'm like, man, I really wish I could dish out the bucks to own that.
Yeah.
It's one of a piece. You're never gonna, and nobody would ever had it in their collection except for me. So and I have a lot of your work and I have a lot of your art.
Yeah,
so
but I mean, it's really a one of a kind. But a cool thing that happened though, I think one of the guys was from here. That there's a Hellraiser podcast, and I talked to that dude, and he actually knew all about that film. So I think it is out there that. The documentary was good. Yeah. For a while, I just felt like I would tell people about it, and they were just like, yeah, right. Yeah, like, way to sell it.
Todd's losing it.
Yeah, another elaborate scam, like, no. I even have some artwork that I just found today. It's like a little Clive Barker drawing of some ideas he had.
If I remember correctly, it was a couple years ago. You made a shirt, correct, with the Cenobite pieces, the puzzle blocks?
Yeah. I think I just just really limited edition.
I think I saw. Yeah,
that was for friends. I think I made,
but I think I saw it online, and I was like, oh wow, Todd, and then I saw the costume. So
yeah, maybe. I don't remember.
You should dig that up and redo it.
I'll have that screen. That screen is where is it? I think that screen is in Temple.
Awesome.
So the art show is going to be art from, I don't know. I think the oldest thing is maybe 15 years old up until present.
The archives.
Yeah, so basically what you'll see is you're going to see the costumes that we just talked about. You're going to see a bunch of really weird pencil drawings that I did during COVID.
I've seen most of them that you post on Instagram.
Yeah, because I was doing live feeds. Like, that's all I could do. I was on unemployment for a year. And then there's a bunch of big scale paintings that I've had, like in my archives.
Are there going to be any feature art of your daughter from Lydia
B? I think now that you said that,
she's got a big, very if you ever go to junkerdesigns.com, the actual website, there's a whole section of her artwork.
Yeah,
and I think that is phenomenal because your daughter paints, and I mean because you're artistic, and of course you and Cherry teach her the way.
Right.
But now you're selling her artwork. She's famous and she don't even know it.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, well, she understands that because she's really addicted to LOL dolls.
Awesome.
These little tiny collectibles. And so
buy a shirt so I can buy a doll.
Exactly. So I had to start explaining to her how money works. But I was like, look, you're already painting all the time. So if I put these paintings online, if people like them, I give you the money. And then when you say give me an LOL, then we just take the money out of the bank.
Well, you need to sell a paint and go paint. Go paint something.
Yeah, she's about out of money now, so she needs to start painting again.
So buy some. And speaking of your family on your website, how's your dog doing?
Bill?
Yeah.
Oh,
he had
dude,
surgeries on his leg.
I was freaking out because I thought
he's a family man, not only a clothing designer and an artist, but he's a family man.
And my dog Bill, I think he's 13. But so what happened was he was having a really hard time. So I was like, okay, this is it. I think that this leg has to finally get fixed again.
Is this second trip to the vet?
This if he had to go for he had one whole major thing. It was like thousands and thousands of dollars to do all
that. He should be like the bionic dog now.
Yeah, I don't know, because it was just the one leg, and his back legs are atrophying because he's old. Anyway, the point is, like, after about 4 days, then Yvonne Cherry was like, "Hey man, look who's up and around," and he was just, I don't know, got over it.
At least you're not carrying him around in the harness no more, right?
No, he's good to go right now. Like, I was like really surprised. I was like planning like, oh, where am I going to bury him? Like all that.
That's awesome. So back to the
art show.
The art show.
Okay.
Sorry, we get
no, it's fine. Because there's a lot of cool stuff.
Well, like I said, I haven't seen you in so long, and we're kind of catching up as we're doing the interview. And so the art show, what time does it start? What is the address?
Okay, the art show is Hardy and Nance, and I should have brought in a flyer. You can look on my Junker Designs Instagram, and it's all over Facebook. It's Hardy and Nance Galleries. And so on Friday, it's called like soft opening. That's what they call it. That's from like 7 to 10. Okay, the next day on Saturday, that's April 1st. It's not a joke. There is an art show that's going to happen. Yeah. And that's going to be
I've been to a couple of your shows where it was kind of April Fool's Day. I got there and you just show up, and I'm like, I came to see Todd and he wasn't here.
Oh, who knows? I don't even remember that. I could have been doing, I don't even know what. So April 1st on the Saturday is 4 to 10. But if you want to RSVP, and you can go to junkerdesigns@yahoo.com and RSVP. If you want to pick a time, it's in 30-minute intervals between noon and 4. You can hang out with me, and I'll talk you through all the stuff that's there.
Awesome.
It's like a little private walkthrough.
A full VIP walkthrough, basically.
Right.
Artists talking about the memorabilia and the
because once a bunch of people get in there, like forget about it.
It's like literally us in here doing an interview, and then when we go out there, it's like just
it's a mess. So. It's a mess. So that's what's going on, and we're gonna have Frito pie, and I think we got some liquor, and we got some beer. And Monster Energy drink. Are you
going to be doing any live screen printing? Or are you going to have any merchandise?
There's going to be merchandise, but I'm going to leave the screen printing out because for this one.
I know usually when you do stuff, you usually like to do live screen printing.
I do, but this one is because of the way the space is set up in the back. I just think
it's more like a curator. This is more like an art gallery.
Keep it simple.
I got you
this time.
So is it dress to impress? Can we just wear Junker? Can we just come naked? Or
I think it's just like a free for all party.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the other galleries are going to be open.
Okay,
like the
awesome.
other artists. Yeah.
Is there an amount to get in? Is it free to get in?
No, I think it's free. Yeah, just show up and see some art.
Awesome. So
spend your money on art.
Like I told you, I'm available if you need me to help with anything you need. I'll move work. I'll move your work. I'll help, but we'll push. We'll promote.
Yeah.
Is there anything big coming in the future? Any bands that you're going to be working with? I know you just got done doing a bunch of brand new Vince Neil. You made a new costume for Vince Neil. Somebody stole,
some of the pants. One of the pants, got stolen.
His pants, and I saw that you had to redo his pants. And now that I have a question. Now that you did all of Motley Crue, you did their stage wear. Now that John 5 is involved, are you making gear for John 5? Because I know John 5 is very particular on his gear.
No, I think he's got his own girl. I think it's called Hollywood something. But he's got his own thing going on.
He's got his own club. But
so like approaching John would be like kind of like a waste of. Yeah, I mean, he if he needs me, he's got my number.
Well, I just didn't know if it was kind of like a contract deal, or you just freestyling, or you just critique with the artist, or how it worked. You know what I mean?
How it works usually is like if they need anything, they just send me a text message. Like all those guys text.
So basically, if there's any band that's watching this and they want to get some of your work, stage clothes, like I said, you've worked with so many people.
Yeah.
How do they contact you to go about getting official Junker, one-of-a-kind stage gear?
Honestly, I would say, honestly, Instagram is good. So, like, I'm just starting to work with this other band. I can't tell you much about it right now, but they just wrote me a note. They were just like, hey, really like all the stuff that you've done. Here's one of our songs. This is the video that we want to shoot in mid-April in L.A. Can you make us some robes and whatever? And the guy seems awesome. The music is great.
Are they a national band, or they're getting to the plateau?
No, I think, like, I don't know much about, like, the business side, but I know the guy is from Chile.
Okay.
The singer, and then the two other guys are in L.A. And it's heavy black metal. I would call it black metal. It's probably has some other.
Black metal is pretty heavy because I know I've seen what you listen to.
Well, yeah. If Mike Huey was here, my friend, like he knows every subcategory that there is. Yeah.
Every time I interview a band, they're like, "Oh, well, we're not in this genre. We're our own," and like they make shit up, and I'm like, I can't even read your flyer, bro.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just getting old. I'm pushing 47 now, but I'm like, man, I don't know what that says.
Yeah. It looks like tree roots and grass is the name of your band. Yeah.
So, well, Todd, thank you for spending time. Thank you for driving all the way to Houston. We're out here at Scout Bar, 18307 Egret Bay. We got an awesome show tonight. Hopefully you stick around. I know you brought some merchandise with you. I hope you get to meet some of the bands. I hope maybe you make some connections. But I look forward to the art show and the modeling and everything else that you got. And welcome back to Houston.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Out,
all right.
Always a
later.
pleasure.